Since it's getting close to Christmas, I thought it'd be nice to highlight some of the top houseplants for the holidays.
It's a very clean smell, like a little bit musty, but...
A musk or a must?
Musk, with a K.
Not Elon Musk, though.
No, I don't want to know. I don't want to know what he smells like. My name's Rudy, and we're at Geometry Gardens on Grand Street between Wythe and Kent in Brooklyn. So this one here is Poinsettia, which you may have seen all over the place every holiday season. They are from Mexico, and they are in the Euphorbia family. They do exude this white latex if the leaves are broken, but they are fantastic for bringing color into your home for the holidays. And you may be most familiar with the red variety. The interesting thing about Euphorbia is that the bright color does not come from flowers, but from bracts. So the flowers are actually these teeny tiny little baubles, and then the leaves around them are these very bright, attractive colors. It's like a decorative dish with a tiny morsel on it. And then poinsettias come in a lot of different colors now, which is nice. They used to just come in red and white mostly. They're definitely a classic Christmas plant. They last quite a while, but if you keep them for a long time, they don't quite end up looking this lavish. You know, they develop a lot of character, but they're definitely fun, and they make a good pop of color to bring to your place if you're entertaining or just trying to keep your chin up during the cold season. The next one on the list, Ardisia. So here we have Ardisia. This is a little tropical shrub which around the holidays puts out these adorable berries which make it look very festive. I really am partial to this coral colored berry. But these are pretty easy to take care of year round if you don't mind watering. You know, if you're a heavy-handed waterer or really enjoy watering plants, they're pretty thirsty, but if you keep up with them, you know, they're not too picky as long as they get some light and plenty of water. All right, next up we have paperwhites, which are a type of narcissus, which you may remember from mythology, and or you know that is also what daffodils are called. So these bulbs are very easy to grow indoors. They start from these little onion-looking bulbs, and you can either grow them in water, as you can see here.
Which is very fashionable.
Oh yeah, like really looks like a stunning science experiment and makes you look like a pro botanist. Yeah. But you can also pot them in soil, of course, and they take a few weeks usually to get to the point where they put out these dainty little sprays of white blooms, which are quite surprisingly fragrant and last for, you know, a couple of weeks. They're shockingly easy to grow and really a nice reminder that spring will return. And one thing that's nice is if you're going for a more muted holiday decor situation, you can't go wrong with paperwhites. Moving right along, we have the very showy cousin, but Amaryllis is another bulb that's easy to grow. This one makes very showy flowers that up close almost appear glittery. And these also come in many, many colors, like various shades of pink and white and red mostly. But these are a good way if you want some like hot color, big flowers, like borderline tropical vibes. These are fantastic to add to your holiday table. So if poinsettia is not your thing and you're looking for something you can grow year round that won't end up looking very different over time, you could go with Aglaonema as a replacement. These plants are awesome, really easy to care for, don't mind drying out a bit. They don't need a ton of direct sun, if any, and they have very brightly colored leaves. Yeah, and ones that are just green and white if you're going for a more muted palette, but you don't often see these associated with the holidays, but that doesn't mean that they couldn't be. So So another unconventional holiday plant I pose to you is Philodendron Birkin, which is this beautiful little aroid where the new leaves emerge white, and then as they harden off, they become more stripy. But I got one of these for my mom last holiday season, and she thought it was great because it looks Christmassy during Christmas, and the rest of the year it just looks pretty and stripy.
Yeah, I just mentioned off camera that it feels a bit more like a green and white candy cane.
Yes, definitely. How could we miss this? This is a pine from Norfolk Island, which is where, off the coast of New Zealand or something?
Yeah, it's actually more of like a tropical, I think it's in the Araucaria. It's like an Araucaria family, so it's not quite a pine.
Yeah.
And I always got confused about this one because I was like, oh, you think about our pines, you think that's going to be hardy, and it's not so much.
Yeah.
It's more tropical.
Yeah, but these are great if you want to bring in a Christmas tree, but don't want to buy something that's been chopped down.
Yeah.
They're also fairly easy to take care of if you have plenty of light. But my favorite thing about them is that usually when you find one at a store, they're very symmetrical and bushy, perfect for hanging ornaments on, but the longer you keep them, the more character they get. Over time, they often lose lower branches or really grow very strongly towards your windows and will really grow to fit the space and be a totally unexpected shape. And they can get very tall. So they're a fun one if you immediately need something to put decorations on, but later want a plant that looks nothing like anybody else has. Another classic Christmas plant is this cactus, which is actually from the jungle, which is the Christmas cactus, or also now called holiday cactus. There are some varieties that bloom more around Thanksgiving and Easter as well. This is a super long-lived plant, potentially. Often when people bring them in to be repotted, they say that they belong to their grandparents. So it's a fun one if you want some color immediately in your space, but also want something that will, bring you joy for years and years to come.
And all different colors. I've seen them in kind of cerise colors, orange, reds, whites.
Oh yeah, and the flowers are just spectacular. I don't know who pollinates this, maybe some kind of bird with a long beak or something. But they're easy to propagate, fairly easy to take care of. I believe to get them to bloom successfully each year, though, they need some amount of time of uninterrupted darkness.
Yeah, I think it's like 14 hours.
Yeah, so if you're gonna keep it in a room where you have the lights on at night a lot, you may not get such a show.
Yeah, very good tips.
Also, if you grow them in a bit more light, the leaves really blush red, which is nice. So if you're looking for even more color, you can get them a little bit of sun stress. Some other alternatives to the classic Christmas plants, if you're looking for something you can grow year round, but highlight during the holiday season, one would be Fittonia. So we have this in white and green, of course. This is also called nerve plant because of the pattern on the leaves. But this comes in white and oftentimes pink as well. And then, of course, red. So this feels very seasonally appropriate as well.
Totally.
And down that same line, oftentimes at supermarkets and places you least expect, you will also find frosty fern, which is a type of Salaginella. This plant is cute because it looks like it's got a little bit of snow on it. They're not necessarily for the beginner plant parent because they need a lot of humidity, but they are very cute and would do fantastic in a terrarium. Another classic plant for the season is Cyclamen. Yeah, these also can be very long-lived. They're great because they make good houseplants, but they're also very cold hardy. So this one in my right hand, I just pulled out of one of our window boxes, and this has been outside, through the last few weeks where the weather's been in the 30s, and it's still blooming and perky and beautiful. And the flowers on these come also in a variety of colors, but you usually see them in red, pink, white, and purple.
I mean, honestly, though, look at the foliage itself. That alone is picturesque.
Yeah.
It kind of reminds me of some of or even our native gingers, or like maybe even more like Chinese gingers, which they have that really low-growing flowers, look nothing like it, completely different family. But look at how ornamental those leaves are.
Yeah.
If that was a typical house plant, because you usually only see them during the holidays, people would go crazy for this. It's a very interesting color texture, that silvery nature of the leaves.
Yeah, like if you're looking for plants that do not scream tropical, this is a really good one. Yeah, my sister has one that she's had for over 20 years, and it's nice because it hasn't like grown out of control or anything. She just kind of refreshes the soil and sticks it in the same pot again.
Now, I've never, I don't know if these are hardy enough to grow in the zone 6 or 7 or wherever we are in, but I know there are hardy cyclamen, like Cyclamen hederifolium and stuff like that, which have pink flowers that are hardy enough for like zone 4 or 5 even. But
yeah.
I don't know about these. Do you know whether people could plant them?
I think that mums and such, they end up getting planted so late that they don't get a chance to get established enough to overwinter appropriately, and they're just considered like an annual almost, and end up getting replaced in the, whenever they stop looking good. But I have seen there's many varieties of cyclamen planted out in the like rock gardens at the New York Botanic Garden and places like that. A lot of those are a little bit more diminutive than these, but they're so charming. So another plant that could be considered quite Christmassy is this Anthurium, which is also called flamingo flower. And these make fantastic plants year-round, bloom consistently. This one, as you can see, has gotten a little crusty with age, but the flowers last a long time. A
long time. They're fabulous cut flowers as well.
Yes, we almost always have them at the flower shop in an array of colors. But if you were looking for something that you could grow year-round that would also be appropriate holiday decor, I would certainly recommend Anthurium. So next on the list is this little Chamaecyparis elwoodii, or Chamaecyparis lawsonia elwoodii, which is also known as Eurocypress. And it is a very cute little evergreen that will live happily indoors for long enough for you to enjoy it.
Yeah, this is if like you live in the tiniest little shoebox and you need a Christmas tree, and this is what you get.
Yeah, you get some teeny tiny little decorations, and these also do fantastic in window boxes. Or if you just need a little whisper of holiday cheer. And otherwise, if you wanted to plant them outside and enjoy them year-round, they do just fine here. And here we have a little Myrtle topiary, which is another way to bring...
It's actually so much softer than I thought it would be.
Yeah, these are great if you're looking for very formal kind of boxwood kind of vibe.
I could also see them in a fairy garden.
That is true, yeah. Or
like that would be the tall tree in a fairy garden.
Yeah, or like a holiday train set kind of situation.
That's a great idea.
But these like bright light, and I think to be watered fairly frequently, they will, if you keep them happy, they will eventually need a haircut to keep this lollipop shape. But they are definitely cute if you are looking for something for, a more leafy tree rather than coniferous, to put with your little cypress. I pose that we include Begonia maculata in with Christmas plants because it has this gorgeous red leaf back and these white polka dots. Like, it basically looks like nature's Christmas stocking.
Oh, absolutely.
These can get quite tall over time. We also have this variety over here, which I believe is called white ice. which has even more polka dots. So if you didn't find enough on the regular maculata, this is another nice Christmassy plant, but something unexpected. But why not set a new trend?
We'll be back to doing some more tours soon on Plant One on Me. So be sure to subscribe, like, and hit the notifications button so you don't miss a video. Additionally, if you're keen to learn more about houseplant care, maintenance, and more, then check out our suite of online houseplant courses at homesteadbrooklyn.com and thehouseplantmasterclass.com. We're also working on some cool projects on our sister channel over at Flock Finger Lakes. So if you're curious about that, check out what we're doing on that channel. See you in the next video.